Hey, hi all, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to do a complete setup end-to-end, where end-to-end means creating a project in TestNG, and then we will run the test in local, and then also we will push it to the GitHub and try to run it in the GitHub. Okay, so it will be complete end-to-end. So suppose if you are given a task, like you have to create an end-to-end framework, run it using Selenium, run few tests, this will be the best guide for you. So it will not even take like people may think, okay, I have to create full framework. It will take time. No, you can simply do it and just follow the steps which I'm telling, and you can also be become a kind of expert. I won't say expert, but at least for a beginner, this will be a very good quick guide. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So I'm assuming that you guys have an idea on something about Java, Maven, Selenium. At least you should have known this stuff. You should be familiar with this. If not, maybe you can go to any other video where you should be checking about all this stuff. What is Java and all. So I'm assuming at least you have some knowledge. And based on that only, I'm now going to tell you on creation of the framework. So here what I have done, so simply I will start without wasting your time. We will try to create a project. Right now I'm using a tool IntelliJ or Eclipse or VSS Code. You can use any IDE, whatever you are comfortable with. My preference will always be IDE. So better you install it in your system. Once you have all the installation done, what you have to do, go to new, simply click on new project. Okay. Now this will navigate you to Maven architect type. So if this you will see, let's call this project as end to end framework something. Okay. Selenium. And you need to select the JDK. So here I have selected 17. You can select 11. So it's up to you on whether you want to go with 11 or 13, or maybe we can now go with 11. Okay. Till here, I think all good. Now we have to select the architect type, and this will create the skeleton of project. So generally, when you want for the test related project, it's better you select the archetype as quick start. Okay. Click on create. What it will do now, it will create a Maven project for us. Okay. Now what we will do here, so it will have the pom.xml from where we can install dependencies, right? So any dependency, any library dependency if we have, if whatever files we have based on the properties dependencies plugin, we can do all those installation. Okay. And now if you will see the notification here can be added to Git. Since I have Git also installed, I will say, okay, yeah, always add it so that I can push this code also to Git and you can have a look. So this is the step number one, which we will be doing. And now, since we know we will be needing some dependencies, we will be needing TestNG plugin and all, we will copy some of the dependency and let's take take some dependency, and I have already have some, so I will just copy it and let me just pick it from. Just give me a second. I will just do a copy of that and give provide it to you. So these will be our dependencies which we will be needing for this project. And now let's get some plugins which will be good for this. These are this plugin. So let me give you a quick overview of that. What are those which I have just added? So I have added Selenium. So definitely, since you need Selenium to run your test, so we have take the latest version, that is 4.1 from for Selenium. If you simply Google it, like you want to download, you need a dependency for Selenium, you will get this. So you can easily, it will navigate you to the website and you can copy it from there. Same, we are going to run the test through TestNG. So we need TestNG dependency. We have this WebDriver manager. So previously, when you remember that we need to download the .exe file, then keep it in my local, and then based on the version it has, every time we need to download, right? You don't need to do that. You have a Boni Garcia library which will help you to do that. So to whatever version your Chrome will be, this will help you. So it will just check the version of your Chrome and then it will instantiate that version only. So it is like a remote repository of all Chrome driver. So you don't even need to have it in local. Simply for a reporting purpose, we downloaded Extend Report. We needed a logbook for some configuration thing. For SL4J, if you are getting any logger and all there, we generally need it. Now we have Spotless just to align all our Java code. Okay, and we have a Maven compiler. So all this we needed right now in order to run this test. Simply in you, if you want to build it. So right now, if you see, you won't see them here in library. You need to build it. You can click here in the right side, and you can click reload all Maven project. So in the below, you will see now it is resolving dependency, and now you will see automatically all our dependencies are getting downloaded from from the internet. It is picking everything from the internet and now storing it here. And I will now try to generate source and update folder for all project. Okay, done. And now we can see, if we can see things here in plugin, I had that spotless, yeah, it is there. And dependencies, we can see whatever I have added in mine, those are all downloaded. So this is a very quickest way you can see it. We can also try to run our Maven clean command. You can do it from here, and even you can run it from terminal. It's up to you. It's success. You can also run Maven validate command and see if there are any issues, no issues. We can try running Maven test. So right now, I think it will give error maybe because I removed the JUnit dependency, and by default there were cases related to DRC. So I told, so JUnit framework, it was previously there when we created project, but since we are using TestNG, it is going to throw you error. So now we will resolve this error, and also as well we will start creating our few sample tests. Okay. So let's try creating our test in the source folder. So let's get started with our test one, and I will create a new Java class here, and let's call it a Google search. We'll do a simple Google search test. Okay. And let's call it Google search test one. And let's give it, okay, okay, it is asking me to add it into the Git. Okay, I'm adding it. Fine. And now, okay, I wrote the wrong spelling. That's why it is giving this error. Google search, and then maybe right click, refactor, rename. Yeah. Okay. So automatically here also it is updated. And we don't need this app test. So it's better we just delete it. We don't need it. Okay. Now I created a class and it is showing me error now. Why? Let's rename it. Okay, error gone. Now I will take some code which I have written because I don't have much time, but I will explain you what are all those stuff here. And we don't need few stuff here. Yes, Google test search, code package, Google test one. Okay. So I have created a class here. Okay. So in this class, we will be using our driver, and we have also done the setup for extend report. We have before method to initialize our driver to run the test. We have this method. So I'm assuming that you are aware of TestNG concept, where at the rate test means the test which you are going to run. Driver.get means you are going to open this Google. You are then we are printing it just for our knowledge. And then these are our syntax extend dot, just to ensure that in our extend report we will be seeing all this, right? Again, for we have a second test, search test. First one search Google, so we are having two tests here, and then same after method tear down and all, and after suit we kept just to tear down things on the reporting part, right? So we will be needing report, so there we need to flush things and all. So for that we are using this code. So these are all sample code. So because my here intention is to tell you how to create end-to-end framework. Later on, maybe once we are in the topics of at TestNG, we can discuss more about it definitely. So now I will do one more stuff here. I will create a page method also. So generally it's a good practice to have one page as well. So I will create maybe Google home page, create class, add to Git. Then we will put it here and just placing it here. Yeah. But we see that yes is all, they are not being used. Maybe here we need to check where exactly they are getting used. So I can create. Okay, so if since I have created this homepage class where I want to initialize my driver, and I can also use this method to launch, and I can also use this search method to do a search. So the same thing anyway we are doing here, but there is another way if you want to follow some page method. So just for example, I'm just creating this one, and we don't need it. Let's delete it. I will try to create one more class here. Let's call it Google Test Search Test One, just for our reference. I'm writing it. And now do one thing. Let's Yeah, let's rename this file. And if you see, though I'm doing the same stuff here also, we use the setup part where itself we did the setup for the Chrome driver initialization. Then we create an object of driver. We maximize the window in the next test. Then we are opening Google. Same thing we are doing here, but we are doing it a little bit more differently. Here, what we are doing is I'm creating object from Google homepage, and then I'm passing my driver here, and I'm utilizing the methods in the page. So this is also one way you can run the test. Okay, I believe till here we are clear, and we created at least our test here, and let's try give it a try whether it is running or not. So what I will do, I will again try to run a command. Let's see. I don't know whether it will pass or fail, but let's see our code is running or not. Okay, I think it will not run because I have not yet set up the testng.xml, and that file needs to be created here. So I need to create one more file, and let's call the name of as testng.xml. Okay, let's add this also to Git, and in that we need to now share what test case we will be running. So it simply gave me red because example Google test one. This is one class we have to run, and the another one is test one. Yes, so now it's green. It means it has identified it, and I'm just Giving the name, so name I can give December 13th or Selenium test Google test. Okay, name I gave here, sweet name and all. And now let's try to run it. Maven will try to identify testng.xml file and let's see. I'm not sure it will run or not, but I'm hoping that it will run. Let's write Maven clean. Okay, Maven test. This should help us to execute our framework. I'm not sure whether it will pass or fail because this is first time I'm trying. This is okay. It is downloading all required repos. Build is successful, but it has not picked any of our test case. Okay, let me simply now then try my case running from here. At least from here it should. Okay, I think it is just parsing right now. Okay, it started, instantiated. Okay, TestNG is trying to run it. Okay, now set up files before method is called. Okay, our page is launch. Cool. It should open Google. Let's see whether it will or not. Still loading. Maybe internet issues. Yep, Google is loaded. It has cool again. Yeah, it has even search Selenium TestNG Maven tutorial. Cool. Our script is running. That's great. And it should then go to tear down and then Chrome should shut down. Yeah. So our test case run successfully, at least from here. And now we need to see why it has not picked up from Maven test. Let's give it a try again. It's running. Okay, it has not picked up yet. So let's try to identify why Maven test is not picking our test. Okay, so coming to the issue with Maven test, so always remember we should have tests written in the last, so then only Maven will pick it. So now let's again try to run our command Maven test NFC. If we can run it through Maven test. Okay, now let's start it, and now it should start running our test, and it should pick our TestNG cases. Okay, yep, I think now it is picking. Yep. So make sure when you name the method, it should have test at the end. Then only Maven will pick it. So now it is trying to load the Google. Okay, now it has put our search term as well. So our test case is also working through Maven. So now we can ensure that now if I put this build to any other machine, either in cloud, this will run. So right now it is running in my local, but now I can even run it to any of the machine using the Maven commands. Now our second test started, and this should also run successfully. Yep, Google has been loaded. Yep, and now we should see another case. Okay, now again one more page. It is loading. Yep, Google is launched. Done. Cool. So in this way, yeah, our build is success. It ran three cases, and we should now also get the extent report. And this is what the report we just now get. So I've already wrote the tear down code for this. So as soon as our test case ends, it should also give us the report. This is how the extent report looks like. And if you want to see the graphical view, we can see that 2 event passed, 0 event failed. It is fully green, no failure. Okay. And we gave the simple test, search test. So all this value from where it is coming from, if you want to know, I can tell you that it is there in our code only. We have added that. If you see, we started the test name here in the extent sample test, starting the test passed successfully. And here also we had added all those reporting things. So all this, whatever things we are seeing in the report, they are coming from this code. So I believe till here we are good. So till here, what we have done, created a Maven project, imported the TestNG, created TestNG XML, and then in the POM XML, we had added required dependencies, and then we also tried running our test case through TestNG and also through Maven. So even you can run your TestNG case from here. You can do right click and run it. It will run all the test case. Now the best thing now we need to do one more thing. So I will push this code to GitHub, and in GitHub I will try to run it using the GitHub action. So like we have GitLab CI Jenkins. So in GitHub action also you can run your code. So for that we need to create one more folder here called uh, okay, not project, by mistake I created. I need to create a module here, new. Okay, I can say here new module, new directory, and that directory name I can call this as dot github. Even I can create it when we push the code to GitHub, but even you can pass it on from here. And then maybe again one more directory I can create here is workflows. Done. In the git workflow we can add one file called as Maven. You can give anything, but let's call it Maven. test.yml. And in this YML file, we will run complete this code, what it is doing. As soon as somebody push the code to master, it's gonna run. So it's gonna run on Windows machine. So that's why we wrote Windows latest. We can write Ubuntu also here. So this will do the checkout part for a repository, and this will set up the Java environment. I have kept Java 11 because we are using that. Again, this will take care of our cache mechanism to run speed up the process, and the Maven clean command which I was running in my local, the same it will run there in the GitHub machines. Okay, they have their own virtual machine, there it will run. And then at the end, we will upload all our artifacts, cats, and reports. And also, you can send it to your email. So if you do the configuration, provide the uh, SMTP server for Outlook or Gmail, whatever you want to use, and you need to even provide secret keys. Those keys you need to configure in GitHub Action. Even you can send it to the email of any of your friend or your office colleague. You can do that. You can put the subject, body, all this thing. You can even do that uh, in the YML through YML file. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we will now push this code to our Git repo. And in my GitHub, let me try to first create a framework, or I will create a directory here and then we will push it here. So in order to create the directory, so this is one of the projects similar to that I had created, which you are currently seeing in my screen. That also you can find in my repo. And now, but for this, let's try to create a new project here. So I'm now creating a new repo so that I can push my code to this repo, and I will call it as end-to-end Selenium frame here. It has Maven, TestNG, right? So I can just put some name like this, and this name is already available. So let's go through this name, create a repo, and I'm doing a public repository. I can simply copy this path, one IntelliJ, and git. I will try to first commit my changes. I haven't done anything here. So these were all my file. I just created, select all. Let's call it initial commit and push, commit anyway. It is asking me to define a remote because it does not know where it needs to be pushed. So that's why I took already the URL of the folder I created in my GitHub. So now all my code will be pushed to GitHub. So this is one of the Git part you that also we must be knowing. So now whatever I'm trying to push, it should go to my end-to-end Selenium from Maven TestNG project. Right now there is nothing in it. So we will refresh it and see if whatever files I have created, it got pushed. See, I'm telling things on very high level right now because we just wanted to see if we can create end-to-end project with the help of Maven TestNG. So there are a lot of things internally we should know, but that is not what I wanted to do in this video. I just wanted to share you how you can do the and how you can create end-to-end framework, and it should not take much time for you. It's not a very complex task to create it. See, whatever folder we had already, everything has come up here, and we had this GitHub workflow, so it should have triggered our workflow here. So if you see this actions here, it is now running, and whatever, if you remember, we have done, wrote all the command, right? Running, setting up JDK and all. So it must also run here, and we should get the report. So whatever Maven logs we used to see in local, if you see now, all of them are right now running. Yep. So it's running perfectly fine. And it should also pass here in this GitHub action runner as well. So there it has one virtual Windows runner currently where it is running, installing all desired files which we need. So in this way, you can end to end create your framework. You can even run it in the cloud. So I believe that's all for today. I had to explain you all how we can create end-to-end framework for using Maven, and what running the test using TestNG, and for report, it's the extent report which I have used. You can just follow this repo. You can, if you want, you can copy it, or you can just go through my video and follow step by step. And even I will add all the steps in the README section so that if you forgot any of the step, you can apply that. Okay, so that's all for today. And really, this has taken me a lot of time to make this video. So please hit the bell icon, subscribe my channel. It will really help me to boost my confidence. Thank you all. Bye.